everybody. Welcome back to the Comedy Castle podcast. I'm your host, Joel Fregeman. Going to tell you what's going on this week at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. Now, we did have a show last week, and I hope you listened to Michael McDaniel on this show. It was fun talking to my friend Michael. He's our act on Thursday night. Today, Laurie Kilmartin checks in, and it was a big week for Laurie. She was a writer on the Oscars with Conan O'Brien. That was last night, and she called in and talked to me this afternoon. It's Monday here as we do this, and it was really thrilled. Really cool to talk to her, get some inside Oscar stuff. You'll hear that here. We talk about some of the movies. It's a really fun talk. But anyway, let's go through the week here because we do have open mic for you starting out this week on Wednesday, March 18th. That's at 7:30 p.m. It's $5 to get in. If you got a group, you should probably call the club at 248-542-9900 and let us know you're coming. Otherwise, get your tickets at the door for open mic night. It's always a good time at open mic night. We had a good one last week, too. And then Thursday, Michael McDaniel is joining us at 7:30 p.m. for one show. We talked to Michael last week, got his sort of origin story there. He did some of his awesome impressions. If you didn't hear the show I put it up late in the week last week. I tried to put them up early like today, but it was later in the week. So, Michael will be with us for one show, Thursday the 19th. And then the 20th and 21st, Friday and Saturday, Laurie Kilmartin comes in for 4 shows. Laurie was with us a couple years ago, did an awesome job. Like I said, she just wrote the Oscars. She's writing for Jimmy Kimmel. She'll talk about it in the interview. 7:15 for you on the 20th of March, and 9:45 is the Late Show on the Friday. Saturday, the 20th, 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Laurie Kilmartin, come see her. She's amazing. She really is great on the show. She was great the last time she was at the club. I only got to see one day. You'll hear that in the interview. We'll talk more about the interview in a second, but I got to make mention that Pete Holmes put on an amazing performance this past weekend. If you got to see Pete on any of those 5 shows, I know they were tough tickets, but Pete killed it. And I think it was his first time at the Comedy Castle, and he was amazing. So thanks to Pete, if you hear this or if your friends hear it or whatever, pass that along because Pete did a killer job. And Matt McCarthy opening, it was great to see you again. I had run into Matt. Pete's opening act on the road watching wrestling because Matt does a wrestling podcast called We Watch Wrestling with my old friend Vince Averill, and Vince introduced us, and Matt was awesome, super funny on stage, good dude. So thanks to Pete and Matt for putting on 5 incredible shows last weekend, and we got some more good ones this week with Laurie Kilmartin, Michael McDaniel on Thursday. Let's talk about Laurie here, what we talked about today. It was Oscars night. So when I'm trying to set up the interview for the following week, I'm saying, well, look, I know you're doing the Oscars. She wrote last year as well because she does a lot of work with Conan. She hosts Comics on Conan on Sirius XM. If you listen to, it's one of the comedy channels. I don't know which one it is, but maybe it's Conan's channel. I don't even know. But anyway, Laurie does that, and so her and Conan have been working together for a long time, and she was a writer on Conan's late night show, so she's been writing the Oscars. I'm ready for her to say, look, it's Oscar week, can't do it, going to be too tired, blah, blah, blah. I heard none of that. Let's do it, Joel. Okay, and then the day comes this morning, and I get an email, and she says, Joel, we're going to have to push the interview back by like 15 minutes, because I just finished writing jokes for Jimmy Kimmel and I need a break. So immediately from the Oscars to the Jimmy Kimmel live show, she's really killing it. She's in demand as a writer. And Laurie really puts on a dynamite show. So if you haven't had a chance to see her previously, please come out this weekend. We don't have a ton of female headliners at the club. And it's always the thing where some people say you can't have enough female headliners. But when female headliners come to the Comedy Castle, if everyone buys tickets and we sell them out, that's going to mean more female headliners. So Laurie's amazing. What else? We talked about some of the movies. You'll hear some. I complained that there wasn't any jokes about the secret agent, so you'll hear that. We try to write jokes for Train Dreams, and I thought I came up with a good one. Laurie did not laugh, but hey, that happens when you're doing comedy. I told Laurie what my favorite segment was on the Oscars with Conan, and she has a great answer. And I said, you know what segment I really liked? Turns out she wrote it. How cool was that? Just a lot of cool stuff. It's great to hear the inside info. She was trapped in the, you'll hear it in the interview. I'm giving away the whole thing. I don't want to give away the whole thing. I want you to listen to Laurie on the show. Enjoy that. We also do make reference to the interview we did in 2024. So go over to Comedy Castle Podcast if you want more Laurie, because we had a great talk about COVID. I had COVID when we did the interviews, the whole thing. Let's throw it to Laurie. I've talked too much. I really have. I'm ruining the thing. I'm ruining the thing that you came here for, and that is interview with our headliners. And Laurie's amazing. Let's throw it to her. Let's get out of here. I'll catch you after. Laurie Kilmartin. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other end of my line, coming back to the Comedy Castle and the Comedy Castle Podcast, Laurie Kilmartin, welcome back to the show.
Joel, I'm so excited. I'm excited to be back on the podcast and to be back at the Comedy Castle.
Yeah, it was an eventful I didn't even listen to it because I remember our talk from 2 years ago. It was I don't know if you do, but it was a very eventful time in my life because I had COVID and I was talking to you on the phone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a weird time. I had COVID and then I was going on a cruise.
Oh, geez. Were you working a cruise?
No, I was with my wife.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I proposed on the cruise. It was this crazy time in my life.
Well, first of all, you're supposed to get COVID on the cruise, not before the cruise.
I had it before. The only time I got it, we talked a lot about COVID on the last show because that was
cool. Yeah.
I was a real anti-COVID guy, and I tested a vaccine, and I did all these things. And it took me 4 years to get COVID after everybody had it. And, you're anti-COVID for your own reasons. And we spent a lot of time talking about that.
Well, I don't know who would be pro-COVID.
That's true. That's true.
Why does anyone want to get sick with anything?
Good point. Point duly noted. But it was fun. And then I only got to see one of your nights at the club because I was coming back from the cruise. So this weekend, I'll be there for all of them.
Oh, cool. Right on. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be great. And, of course, big, really honored that you're talking to me the night after the Oscars.
Dude, I am fried. I have no idea what my bandwidth is today, but I'm going to give it my very best for the next 20 or so.
I'm a guy. This is how again, I am unlike most Americans in that not only did I watch the Oscars, I saw all of the Oscar-nominated movies. Even, the acting ones that weren't Best Picture, I went out and saw those. So I went to film school. Cool. I'm pretty crazy about it, and I really do all of that. And, I mean, when I was thinking about what would the jokes be, thinking about what Conan would say, I was like, boy, some of those movies, first of all, I think a lot of people didn't see some of them.
That's the hard thing. You can't assume everyone saw every movie. Yeah. So it was really difficult to get specific. Right. And I watched several movies many times. So I wanted to really, you just want to have a different angle on a movie. Plus we're the last award show, or the Oscars is the last award show. So a bunch of jokes had been done. It kept knocking things out. So you're not left with a lot of meat on the bone by the time you get to the Oscars. So, it was kind of tricky because we had jokes that if you'd seen the movies, you would have loved them. But we couldn't, the home audience, we couldn't assume. Yeah. And even that audience. Right. But I don't know. It's tricky because it's so late in the award season.
I could do 30 minutes about The Secret Agent, and I don't think anyone would care or get the joke.
I love The Secret Agent. And the year before, Brazil had sent a movie, I forget the name of it, but it's from a similar time frame, living under that dictator. Right. It's like Brazil. What are you trying to tell us?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great movie. I liked all. It's funny, all the Best Pictures. I liked them all, but I also know that there's many people who wouldn't like some of those, and I think Secret Agent was one of those where people would be like, "I don't know what's happening," and then you figure out halfway through that that's sort of on purpose, and then a leg starts running around on its own at a point. It's a
that's right. I forgot about that. It's
very strange. It's like two guys are blowing each other, and there's a leg running by.
That's
and
right.
And you're like, this isn't a horror movie. What just happened?
I know. I wish, again, that would have been fun to joke about had anyone known it.
I even turned on the morning news today here in Detroit, and the anchors were like, I don't know what Conan's dressed as in the beginning. What is this weapons? I've never heard of the movie. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Are you serious?
That's what I mean, look, these are the morning news Detroit people. These are not.
It's on Netflix.
These are not sophisticated folks we're talking about. I mean, I know
what. Everyone's kids saw Weapons. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Weapons was really cool, but yeah.
That's a dereliction of duty if you are a news anchor and you didn't see Weapons. Come on.
I feel like these people get up at 4 a.m. and they don't see much of anything.
I know. But still, for God's sake.
Yeah, so there's stuff like that, and I'm like, you got to give it up. But Conan's great. Love Conan. Always loved Conan. And knowing you had a little bit to do with it there, and how difficult that is, I think you guys really killed it.
Thanks. Yeah. We were working out of he has an office that that's really nice, and sunny windows. And then the final week you are working at the Dolby Theater where the Oscars are held, and you're under the theater. It's a windowless room. The chairs are like those plastic, folding chairs. I'm in total back pain right now. And I think I got like 7 different colds from just reading everyone else's air. So it's weird. The last week that should be the most exciting, you're like, get me out of here. And I'm sick of everyone. We're all sick of the jokes because we've poured over them and we've tried, we took Conan went out to a bunch of clubs and worked on stuff. And so we've, we're just like, tell them, and then I never want to hear these jokes again and see any of this comedy again.
Well, it seemed like there was a theme, as I put it together in some of the bits, that Hollywood is changing. There was the, YouTube and the movies will have to be shorter. I thought that was really funny. And just a lot of that. Sterling K. Brown doing the Casablanca thing with Conan was great.
That was my piece.
Oh, my God. Are you killing me? I did not know that, and that was probably my favorite thing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, because,
cool.
Me and my wife like Sterling K. Brown. I think he's so amazing. Good. And, so you have to get Casablanca, which, again, I think there's people that don't at this point. But really, I mean, so funny. I mean, just, and exactly what would happen. If that movie was coming out today, probably.
Yeah, we wanted to get a classic we figured everyone knew the dialogue to. So you had to get like a scene like the gin joint scene. Yeah. And then shoot it in black and white. That was really cool looking. And even then I wasn't sure how it would play in rehearsal. And Sterling K. Brown was there on the first rehearsal day.
Nice.
And that guy can pull laughs out of anything. He's so good. Yeah. I was so relieved. I was like, oh, this is going to be really funny. And he freaking killed it during the live broadcast. I was so happy.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a good one. And just, the whole, what was it? Ted Sarandos, first time in a theater. Maybe the joke of the night.
I know.
Maybe the joke of the night. Netflix CEO. If you didn't see the monologue, you can go watch it. But great job.
Great.
High marks.
Thank you.
From me.
Thank you.
Like that means anything, but high marks for me. I mean, I'm a comedian. I guess that means something.
But you're a comic, but you're also a movie guy. So that is
a comic movie guy, longtime fan of Conan. I was at NYU in the 90s, and I went to Conan.
Oh,
at
neat.
NBC. Yeah. How about that?
That's cool. I love it.
I had a roommate whose sister worked for NBC, and we got VIP seats to watch Conan. It was amazing.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. Do you remember who the guests were?
I do. Listen to this. This is going to tie back to you in its own way. It was Heather Locklear This is 96. Okay. Heather Locklear.
Sure.
She was hot. She was on some show at the time, so she was a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember Heather Locklear. And she was married to Tommy Lee. Please.
Yeah, it was she was a big deal in the 90s, right? Still. And they brought on sort of the unknown New York comedian, a guy named Mark Maron, as the second guest. Yes.
That was Mark's first set. Oh my God.
It was I think Conan used him a lot, and I think he had been on it.
He did.
I think I had seen him on Conan previously.
Okay.
And I think as I remember it, and again, I've actually looked for this segment and kind of had a hard time finding it. I believe he interviewed Abe Vigoda on a couch in Brooklyn. I think that's what Mark did, is like he brought in a little piece of him. And it was great,
hilarious.
And it was really nice. And Mark's friends were sitting right in front of me in the audience, and Mark came up, from the couch when the show wrapped, and he said hi to his friends. And I said I should really say hi to Mark because I think he's so funny and he'll be a big star one day. And I said absolutely nothing.
Well, I don't think he was super approachable in those days. Let's be honest. And were they his friends or were they his dealers? No, come on.
There was a young couple. I don't know. They went up in the elevator with us, and then it was like, oh, they know Mark. That's cool. But I didn't want to get involved. I was some kid from Detroit, at film school. I was like, but that's neat. It was, and you work with Mark, right? You guys are friendly.
Yes, I love him. I do, but he was a little more intimidating back in those days. You know,
he talks about it. You're not insulting anybody.
No, not at all.
That's his whole act now. Is what an asshole he used to be. A lot of his whole act. But he's known for that now. But that's great. What else is going on with you? You said you're Jimmy Kimmel now. That's the thing? You're doing that?
That's right. Jimmy let me take a couple weeks off and go work on the Oscars, which I was thrilled to do. And so I'm back in it today. I just sent in a batch of jokes. So this has been a pretty kooky 24 hours for me. But the Kimmel crew did it all the time when he would host.
Right.
They would have shows the very next day. So I can't even complain to them when I go in today because they'll be like, we did that for 4 years.
Yeah, Jimmy did the show that night, I think. Didn't he?
He did, he was really funny.
The after party was the Jimmy Kimmel Live. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I went to the governor's ball and then my feet hurt so much. I could barely... My son was my plus one, and he's wants to be an animator. So we went to look for the best animation Oscar winners, but we couldn't find them. Oh. And then I was trying to find Sterling K. Brown so I could get a picture with him, but I couldn't find him either. And then I'm like, my feet hurt, and I have to write jokes about the Iranian war tomorrow, so I'm going to go home.
I got to talk to Joel. I want to be fresh for that Comedy Castle podcast.
That's right.
We want to sell those Comedy Castle tickets this weekend, so... Yeah,
we do. Pump those tickets.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday. No Thursday show. You're not doing that. Too big for the Thursday show.
No, you know what? Because I'm working on Kimmel. We have a show on Thursday, but Friday we work from home, and I will work from the plane.
Yeah.
And hopefully there'll be no problems at TSA. They're not getting paid, and so
that's crazy.
Depending on the airports, it's really bad. So hopefully I'll be okay to come in, but I'm pretty psyched to come back. I would love to do a Thursday show, but I couldn't make it in.
Yeah, I'm going to give you. Here's a compliment from me. Well, it's something I noticed, but it is still very complimentary to you. The crowd the other night. This would have been maybe Thursday night. Pete Holmes was there last week and did a great job. Right, we love Pete Holmes. So Pete's there, and the audience. We show previews of the upcoming comedians.
Oh, cool.
Now, usually the audience is talking and they're finding their seats, whatever. But I don't know if it was just because it was a Pete Holmes audience and they're nice people, but they watch these clips of the upcoming comedians. And your bit from The Talk, I think, is the one that they pulled for the video.
Oh, yeah, from Sherry Shepherd's show?
It was you were talking about your son. I don't know exactly what joke it was.
Yeah. The Talk,
yeah.
Was that the Chew? It might have been the Chew.
And and it absolutely was murdering with this crowd.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
great.
That's a rare thing. They don't always listen to those clips or they talk. Like I said, but they were engaged. You came on and they were like, all right, I'm here. This is great. We're ready.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hope they come back.
I hope they do too. It should be fun. What else we got to talk about? I mean, your son, how old's your son now? We talked about him last time you were on the show.
He's 19 and a half.
All right.
I don't know if there are parents listening. You guys are probably all going through this. These kids are getting their driver's licenses at the very last second.
I've heard that.
Like,
yeah.
My son got it when he was 19, like a couple months ago, and he was taking the bus in Los Angeles.
Oh.
I'm like, this is not a public transportation town. You have to get your license at some point.
Detroit's the same way. We're 15.
Is it really?
We're in driver's training at 15, and then you got to drive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would think you got it, but they just don't seem to want to.
Yeah, that I don't know. When I was a kid, it was unbelievable. Like, you couldn't wait.
I know. I know. These kids are so weird to me. Well, I mean, I love them, but I wouldn't want to be growing up in the world they're growing up in.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a little bit. Sometimes I think people, because they're different, people hate on those kids. It's like maybe they're a little smarter than we were. Maybe they're a little more wise to what's going on in the world.
Come on now.
Maybe.
Smarter? No. I mean, I appreciate your optimism, and that's very polite of you, but no, they're not smarter.
Listen, I'm a proud parent of 2 dogs, so I think I know what it's like to be a parent.
Well, definitely. My dog is definitely smarter than me, for sure. Listen, she's barking right now. She's like, hey, are you talking about me?
Oh, my God. And then the act, I saw your on your Instagram, you were doing some warm-up shows for the hour. I would imagine there's something coming up. You got a taping coming up. What's going on?
No, I just because especially because I was kind of trapped in LA for the Oscars. I couldn't go out and do long sets, and so I just wanted to do long sets. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a way to market to get people to come out, especially in LA. But I mean, every good comic is always working on new material. You're always working on your new hour. So, but you kind of have to, I don't know, market it that way. It's so dumb. I'm always trying out new stuff. I'm always trying to add to jokes. Always, you just get bored with stuff, right?
Sure.
And
it's an evolving thing.
Back. Yeah, it is constantly evolving. So technically, every show. Every comic should be working on their new hour.
I tell my comedy students, I teach comedy class, right? Comedy Castle. And I say, rewriting is writing. So if you have your jokes, you rewrite them, make them better, make them tighter, add tags, all that stuff. It's rewriting. It's not just blank piece of paper every time you sit down. You can rewrite the stuff that you've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
There you go.
That's the whole fun too. I mean, with comedy, you're always like, did I lose it? Because it feels like the ability to do it or the ability to think funny or write funny, you don't know where it comes from in your brain. And it always feels like it could go away.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's not there. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we're always, no funny person knows if a joke works until you tell it in front of a crowd. And so because of that, you can't count on it. Right. Mm-hmm. So you're always like, did I lose it? Is it gone? This magic thing I had for a little while. And so whenever you get a new joke to work, it's like, I still got it. Okay.
Yeah. But so you, because of, the professional writing and the television writing and all that stuff, so you will sit there with a blank piece of paper, or are you somebody that comes up with stuff throughout the day, jots it down? Tries it,
with Kimmel and also with Conan back when I worked with Conan too. Every day is their topical joke.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that carries over from the previous day unless it's still the same topic.
Right.
But you open a Word doc and you go. It's ugly, believe me. I like stand-up is so much easier because you have your notes that you've been working on, and you get to keep working on a bit and improving it, and that's really fun. And writing for late night, it's whatever you wrote that day is dead at the end of the day, and you start over with a fresh, empty, white, blinking Google Doc every morning, and it is sickening. It does make you sick to your stomach. You're like, it's 7 a.m. and I'm looking at this. Yeah. Oh God. And I have to fill it with jokes in, 2 hours or less. So
that would be hard for, I guess you probably, I would think it's a bit of a muscle that you can learn to sort of do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes. because I think a lot of comedians, because I used to be like this, I'm like, well, my act is what happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do topical stuff on stage. And so how could you, it just seems so automated to just sit and write jokes, about a topic that you're not personally invested in. That's not about your life. And it's a different form of writing, but you can do it. Any comic can do it, especially if you are offered money and health insurance. You go, let me see if I can figure this out, because I like being alive. And so, yeah.
Sometimes I'm only inspired, like when I get to the club, like my adrenaline starts flowing. Like sitting in the back watching other people going, oh, this has got my, starts to, or like,
does.
I get that when working at the castle too, a little bit.
I bet you do. It clicks you into a rhythm, and you start tinkering on your own stuff. And then also for me, whenever like I work out or I'm in the shower, that kind of frees up that part of my head too. And also whenever I have to like write something else, then I start thinking about stand up too. Like I guess it's like a diversion from other tasks, but it's weird how stand-up works. Like I know Seinfeld was always famously, you sit and write 8 hours a day, but that has never been how stand-ups worked for me. But that is how monologue joke writing works. Although it's not 8 hours a day, it's a certain amount of hours, and you just sit and just sort of, start typing basically.
Yeah. Do people? This is maybe not even you, other people's experience. When you're sort of, because I've read so much, and I've never been in a situation myself of the writer's room and like the competition between writers. Is that a thing that people take like personally? Their joke didn't make it, or things that you didn't get in, or you wanted this and they should have used this, and why didn't they?
No, I mean you're writing for, it's all stuff somebody else has to say. So whenever I'll maybe I'll like one of my jokes better than one of the ones that was picked, but I'm like, I don't have to say it. Yeah. This joke was written more in this person's personality, and it's hitting with them, and they're the ones that have to deliver it. Like with the Oscars, we all sort of write jokes anonymously. We just throw them into a giant Google Doc, and then Conan would pick what he liked. Yeah. So we each know what we wrote, but no one's like, it's not like our initials on them or anything like that. And also it really, especially when it's a show like the Oscars, because you're working with the same premises every day. It's not a news show. So whether, if the setup is Sinners has 16 nominations in January, it's the same setup in March. And by the time you get to March, we're all so sick of these setups, and we're all, because you're just cooking with the same ingredients every day. And so it does start to feel like, somebody please come up with a punchline you like what, like it gets less competitive and more like someone put us out of our misery with this setup and get him a good joke. So
it's less than 24 hours. Are there Sinners jokes still popping up in your head, or are you completely done with that?
Done with Sinners, done with One Battle. I really tried with Train Dreams. It was not hardly anyone watched it, and I liked it. Didn't win anything. Yeah. It was really good.
My joke for Train Dreams would be the movie was so boring. That's what the audience had. Like they fell asleep.
Oh, I see. They had a dream.
Fell asleep. I don't know. It wasn't that. I'm not writing for Conan, obviously. But
did you really think it was boring, though?
No, I mean, I could see where people would think it was boring. I liked it a lot. I thought it was beautiful.
It just came out, so it was only out for 2 weeks. No one knew it was out, and no one. I didn't hear about it till it was nominated.
It was on Netflix. So I saw it on Netflix. Yeah.
It went to Netflix. Yeah. So, I mean, there was an opportunity, but people just didn't watch it, I think, because it was such a grim topic. Right. It's about a logger who, and your listeners have had plenty of time to watch it. And so
don't
screw them.
Don't spoil Train Dreams, Laurie.
His wife and child die in a fire. And it's about his recovery from that grief as he continues to live in an evolving world where people aren't logging as much, and all of a sudden flight is introduced, and all it's like a whole life. You study a whole life going from one era to another. where he's born, in kind of like where it's not states, it's just territories, and everyone's just trying to, basically survive. And he ends his life, he's flying, in airplanes. And then all this horrible shit happens to him. It's like a really great movie.
It's the story of America through the lens of this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I could see why, the jokes weren't hitting.
Yeah, it was a weird year. I think the movies were all very good, but at the same time, it's like, could you? No, I don't know. They did when they went to 10, and I don't know how many years they've been to 10 Best Pictures. Yeah. The idea is that you would have movies that people really knew in there, and I don't think it's worked out the way they thought it was gonna.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I don't think you needed to have F1 in there.
No. It was good. I saw that in the theater. It was great. But
you could have had Eddington in there. Eddington was really good.
Cool. I saw that. Yeah, it was real good.
And it got nothing. That was really crazy.
I mean, even if an impressive popcorn movie, I would have nominated Avatar over F1.
Yeah. I mean, Avatar was good. Yeah. If you got to have a popcorn in there, sure.
Do it. Throw that in there. I don't know. What can I tell you? I'm here doing this show.
I got to shower.
I'm making this. Absolutely. Laurie, thank you so much for talking to me. This was great.
Thank you, Joel. I can't wait to see you in a couple days.
Absolutely. Couple days. Folks, get your tickets. Come see Laurie. Like I said, the video killed the other night in the club. Come on. Imagine what the genuine article's going to be.
That's right.
Yeah, all right, Laurie. Right. We'll see you this weekend. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I clearly gave away too many of those stories on the show. But thanks, Laurie. I mean, come on. I could have ran the 24 interview again, and it would have been great. But to talk to us right after a successful night, writing all them Oscar jokes, doing that, come on. Amazing. Thank you, Laurie. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I think Laurie's great. You hear her. She's great to talk to. And she's great to listen to on stage. Like I said, the pre-show video with clips of Laurie got huge laughs in front of Pete Holmes last weekend. It was so cool to see that. So thanks to all of you for listening to this one, coming out. For Pete, listening to this show. I hope you come out for Laurie. I will make a little quick plug here, not only about the comedy classes, which we got to always plug. Bill Bouchard has the beginner classes. I teach the advanced comedy class, and April 18th is the next edition of that one. So I want you to come to that one. But also follow us on social media. The podcast, we could use more followers. I update when the show goes live, and I got direct links to click through it to our website. So if you haven't done that, Instagram, Comedy Castle Pod, or Comedy Castle Podcast, all one word, on Facebook. And add a follow. It's nice to get followers. I get the updates. It says you got 2 new followers today. I say, oh, man, I must have done something right. I must be doing it well. And the club, of course, you follow the club. They always post about it. But if you follow me, it makes us feel good here on the show. Know that what we're doing is resonating on some level. And, to keep up a podcast like this, requires the support of Mark Ridley and the club, and we're doing well. And the more you follow, the more support we're going to get on this show. Yeah, so give us a follow. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the show so much. So, again, thanks again to Laurie Kilmartin for talking to me. It's going to be a great week with her and Michael McDaniel on Thursday. If you haven't heard Michael's interview, it's up on ComedyCastlePodcast.com. So anyway, what can I say? Let's get out of here. Laurie Kilmartin, she's exhausted from the Oscars. She's going to rest up. She's joining us Friday night, and we want you to join us too. We'll get out of here. Catch you next time on the Comedy Castle Podcast. Bye-bye.